So it's kind of been a while since I last uploaded, yeah, but um, yeah, fuck. Um, I downloaded Assetto Corsa Evo, the early access version, and it did have its early access shenanigans. When I first opened it would just freeze, and I was like, yep, okay, yeah. I mean, it's a early access game, it's not finished, right? But yeah, you can't really expect much. But when I then opened it the second time, it actually worked. And then when I actually wanted to wanted to do something, like, it was very very laggy. It really was. I mean, but yeah, it's an as said, it's an early access game, and yeah, you can't really expect much from it, right? Especially from a game that has like more multiple months until the actual release. Like, that they actually have a somewhat working game is actually already a miracle, to be honest. Like, that they actually already have something out. Yeah, but I cannot wait for them to release the actual game, because ah, that would be so cool. Okay, yeah. Is there something else that I could talk about? Oh yeah, my car kinda does a little squeal, my Accord, and that squeal has been driving me crazy over the past few months, right? But then, but then, this week um I had to this week actually they pulled my wisdom teeth out. So the day before, because of the anesthesia, I couldn't eat for like, I think it was 7 hours beforehand. I just said, okay, I'll eat something in the evening the day before, and then after that and just nothing, and I would skip breakfast, right? So I went. So I said, okay, but when I'm eating something and tomorrow I will eat basically nothing, then I will at least eat something like real good. like 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 something that I will not be able to eat in a while from then on, right? So I drove to my nearest KFC, which is which is actually a little far away, right? So I drive there, order there, drive home. Yeah, and I get my food, drive home, and it is a pretty long drive, right? So when I arrived home, my food was actually, like, I bought a bucket, and it was actually only lukewarm a bit, but it was warm enough for me to enjoy, right? So I downed it at home and I let my car sit. And then the next morning, my mom would drive me with my dad's car, right, to the actual appointment, right, where they actually pulled my teeth. And and then on the way back, because of the anesthesia, I didn't drive, right. So and the anesthesia actually kicked so hard that that I actually slept in the car. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, when I sleep in a car, then I would have to have not have had sleep the night before, and then drag heavy stuff in icy weather. Like, I'm not exaggerating. This I know this firsthand because for work I actually had to do this once, right? So but I'm drifting away from the point. So when the whole thing was done and my teeth were out, um, we drove home, right? And I was sleeping, like I was a brick, and I did not get, and I did not like, we, I did not see anything from the drive really. Well, I said I was sleeping. I was, yeah. And normally I cannot sleep in cars, right? When I am in a driving car, I cannot sleep, and that was like the only case in which I could actually sleep in a car, besides from being tired as a dog after a sleepless night and a hard day of work, right? So then I oh yeah, and about the anesthesia, they should have given me a little bit more stuff because I woke up during the whole ordeal, right? But the teeth were actually pulled at that point, like they were only like sewing my sewing sewing the gaps together that my teeth left, right? And I think I think they were like finished with actually pulling teeth, right? And then they were sewing, but I actually witnessed a bit of that sewing. So then I was there was probably either either it was a mistake or it was by intention because after that it was like easier for them to put me in a wheelchair and drive me to the waiting room where yeah where I then slowly but surely did like more um yeah like first I was lying, then after a while I could say okay, let's sit, and then I sat a little while, and then I said okay, I can stand up, and I stood up, and then we basically waited for the for the doctor to remove the the what is it called, like that entry point for infusions that you would get when you're in the hospital and you need infusions, right? So that they don't have to always so that they don't have to put needles everywhere in your arm so that you don't look like a junkie. Um, so he pulls that. So I was basically standing there waiting for him to pull that out. And then he pulled it out, and then we went to the car. We drove home. As said, I slept doing that. And then when we arrived home, my mom said, "Hey, you're awake. We're at home." And then I could barely make it to into my room, into bed, where I slept for a while. And then when I woke up, my mom made soup, and I took a painkiller and ate a little bit. Yeah, right. And yeah, that was basically it. And then for the next few days, yeah, my cheeks went a little thick, but you know that's normal. But also, and the pain actually faded quite quickly, and the healing process actually also showed show proved itself for me to be quite quick actually. Like I recovered pretty quick. Like tomorrow I'll actually walk again, and the operation where they actually pulled my teeth was like, what was it? One, two, three, four. Then wait a minute. Fuck. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, right? And but my dentist said, hey, when you work, you do like hard work, right? But you have to take things slow at first. So I am gonna do that. I will say at work, hey, I have to take it slow, right? And then I'll just see what happens. Yeah, and that was my week basically. And I actually thought a lot about what am I gonna do when because right now I'm in an apprenticeship, right? And soon I will not be anymore because yeah, I'll finish it. And then I wanted to see, okay, because my Accord, as much as I love it, it will not hold very much longer, I'm afraid. Oh yeah, and when I'm actually talking about that, um, so when so I drove to KFC, it was a longer drive, and then and of course at the morning I was driving to school, and it would squeal, right? And then after school it would also squeal, right? And it only squeals like for a few seconds, and then it just goes, and for the rest of the drives it is pretty much silent. So so then when I just did a longer drive and just let it sit there, I like for a few days, like yesterday I first drove after like after the KFC drive. So I would let it sit, and suddenly the squeal would just like go away. Like it didn't squeal anymore, and I was like confused, like what the fuck is going on? Like that was like that's insane. But now I think now because my um my way to work is not pretty long, so I think what happened is that because I was putting it in so like I didn't travel for distances with my car, and that would lead to it like not flushing the what's it? Yeah, not flushing the lines enough, and so some parts of the engine would like I think the power steering pump is the main culprit, and it would just not get lubricated enough, and then it would squeal. Yeah, that's but this power steering pump, when I'm at it, it looks very oily when you look at it, when you see it, and I am afraid that I will have to put another one in there at some point. But for now, as long as it works, I am not worried about that. I'm more worried about like something in the undercarriage, because that thing is full of rust, and when something under there is rusted through, then then good night, because that's when I'd say, okay, then I'll retire that car, because the engine is like, right, it's a Honda Accord. They are like very well known for lasting a long time. So I think that I will just yeah, I would just keep it until something in the undercarriage would break, and after that I would say, okay, that thing has reached its deathbed, and then I would just dispose it, and hopefully until that point I will get enough money to buy something nicer. And what I'm thinking about buying is a Honda Civic Type R, like not the brand new ones, the generation before that, because right, the brand new ones, they will just plummet in value like pretty fast. Like next year, it's like half the price from what I bought it for. So so I think I'm just gonna buy a used one from the previous generation, and then I'm just a little better off, right? Yeah. But even then, they're so expensive. Like I looked for the normal the normal income of my profession, and I would have to save up a year to buy this car. And no, and then when you subtract taxes and stuff, it would actually be like 1.5 or something. Like, okay, but that's also my definition. Like, I say when you can see, when you when you want to buy something, and you want to know whether you can afford it or not, then you have to imagine the money that it costs, and you would just take it and just set it on fire just for the pleasure of seeing money burn. And that's when you and if that if that would hurt so much to you that you would have problems recovering from that financially, right? Then you cannot afford it. Like simple as that. Yeah. So did I have anything on my list that I would want to talk about? No. Yeah, but so I would have to save for a year, which is like insane, right? But you know, if that's a sacrifice for a nice car that I absolutely want to drive, then I think I'm just ready to take it, right? And I'm still young, right? So and I don't think it would benefit me if I just rushed into like, um I wanna just move out as quickly as I can and stuff, right? Because because everyone older than me gives me the advice to basically save up as much money right now as I possibly can before moving out, because after moving out I will need so much money that yeah, because after I move out I will just need that money, right? And basically that's what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah. And I think that I am on a pretty good track when it comes to that, right? But yeah. It is just a little shitty if I'm just dropping everything that I have like after a year of work into a expensive car, right? And that's actually yeah. But I've, if I absolutely want that car, I think that's kind of worth it, right? And I don't want to do like loans and stuff because, quite frankly, that's basically paying the bank for the privilege for the privilege of owing them money, right? And I don't want to pay people for the honor to owe them money. Like that's stupid. And I don't want to do that, right? But yeah. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Fuck you. I hate you. See you in the next one.